Okay, we'll see. We have to so up to now we have seen the explicit mapping, so it's called a one-to-one mapping. Okay, let us go to the example. Okay, we'll go to the example like, so it's a mapping file. If you see the mapping file, okay, let us assume, let me tell you, this is the source, this is the target. If they are using like a source accounts, like a target account is 1501 1502 like this, and the source of accounts are using 1258001 1258002 001 1258002, means if the data is coming from source, suppose source data is coming like this file is, if the source data is coming like file is, so suppose assume as a data file is coming like this. Actual scenario 2014, then the May period, and the account is, and view is YTD, custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4, and ICP. The account is 1258001. His data is some $100. If the file is loading like this, means where this file, this actual 2014 May YTD everything FDM will understand, but this 1258001 this FDM will not understand, since in the target applications they are clearly using as a 1501. So to make understand FDM, we have loaded the mapping file. In the mapping file we have given like a source and target, and we have loaded the mapping file, so that now FDM will understand if the data is loaded like this also, this $100 has to send to the 1501 target accounts, since both are same accounts. Now FDM will understand. Okay, if you want to send the data from 125001 to target is 1501, means this mapping is called a explicit mapping. Okay, this is now, suppose if my requirement is, if I source and target, if my requirements assume like a they are clearly telling 125001 account and 12, and these 1204 account has to send the data 01 has to, and if they are using the same naming conversion in the target also, if they are using same naming conversion in the target also, that means this data, source data is 125001, and this $100 has to travel to the 125001, means they are using the 125001 is the chart of accounts naming conversion is the same in the target HFM application also, means if they are using this naming conversion here in the target HFM also 125, assume 125001, then what we have to give in the mapping files. Okay, so if they are using different naming conversion, we are using the mapping file as explicit. If they are using the same mapping file, we have to give this as a like mapping file. So these things if you go observed in the FDM, this mapping file types are available here. Explicit, between, in, like. If the chart of account source and target is there using a different naming conversion, 1 to 1, and they are sending to 1 to 1, you have to use explicit. If they are using the chart of accounts source and target is same, then we have to use the naming conversion as a like. This is a like. Okay, so if they are using, if my requirement is something like that, my requirement is source and target, if my requirement assume like a, this is, they are using a naming conversion as a 1501 as a target at the HFM side, and if I want to send the naming conversion 1258001 place comma 1258009, if we are using this type of naming conversion 009 conversion 1258001, so if they are using 1258001 to 1258009, if you are using a mapping type as a between, then it will consider one. If the data is sending 1258001 to 1258009, the data will go to this target only. That means if the assume like a data file is like this, if they are sending data is $100 for 1258, means this one will goes to the data will go to the target 1501 only. If they are sending data, for 2 as a $200, means this data also will go to the account 1501. If they are sending data to 12503 up to 12509, this data will goes to the target 1501, means so it looks like a multiple accounts to a single account. Means if they are sending data from the source like this also, this will goes to the account, because we have given this one as a between, means from this account to this account, from this account to this account. If you are sending the data, this will goes to the target to this account only. Okay, suppose my requirement is something like source target. Suppose my requirement something like, so I want to send 1258001 and I want to send 1258004 and 1258007, means I want to send only these accounts only. If I want to map only this account to 1501, I are using the mapping as a in. So okay, so now it is like a explicit mapping, means so it is a 1-to-1, means here source they are using a one chart of account, they are using both of account. If you load this mapping, means this FDM will understand if the source they are loading a data file as 1258001, means the data will goes to the target as 151001. if we are using a like operator means like whatever they are using in the source set of accounts is the same as same also in the target accounts. If they are using a between mapping means in between 125001 to 125001 to 9, in between all these accounts also, if they are loading the data, this data will goes to the target 1501. In means it is 125001 comma, and these three accounts data only will goes to the this target. So if we load this type of mapping files to the FDM, then FDM will understand to what accounts to the what targets. So FDM will be better understand, and if the data is loading to the if data is importing to the FDM will understand, and it will send the data to the respective accounts. So this is the concept. Now in our application we have used FM accounts as a explicit for the only accounts. Okay, now I am going to for FM entity here. So now I am using as a not entity, so let's take as a okay FM entity. So here I am using FM entity as like. Here what is a like operation means rule name, if we give the star here and rule definition star here and target FM star here, this is a what is this I am just giving as a this is India entity means. So here it means whatever the in the target entities are available, if they are loading source also entity as India or anything, I am giving as a entity, so it will be considered as a India only, means it is called a like operator. Added. So now I am using as a ICP also, I am using a like operator here also. If you give the star here, this is a code, rule definition also star here, target ICP also star here, means whatever the target application is having, all this will match to the source. Means if they are holding if the file data file is coming from the source, if they are mentioning like ICP none and so ICP none, the same thing will be considering in the target application also. This called, so this mapping is called like mapping. So I am same way I am using same way I wanted to give for custom one also I am giving as a I am using like operator only, star rule definition star target star. This is custom one, I am giving the name update grid. Okay, same as you mentioned custom 2, custom 3, custom 4 also same like this you mentioned as a like. So like this here custom 1, custom 2, custom 3, custom 4 and ICP I am given as a like mapping, but in our application we did not mention about in and between mappings so far.